What's up everybody, welcome back to another video. So I'm riding the Triumph Scrambler 400X in this amazing location over here. Now this is Collage and the fog is insane. Such a vibe in the morning, but don't worry, this is only gonna last for next 1 hour or 1.5 hours and it's gonna be hot. So yeah, we're just out on a shoot. That's my connecting car again. I have no clue where I'm going. Seriously, I have no literal clue. It feels so good to be riding this bike. I swear, the stance is insane. This is so cool. Oh, it's a Scrambler, I can stand up. Ooh, it's actually pretty good. Now this is very similar to the Speed 400X. The engine and everything is pretty much very similar. The only difference about this bike is that this has got a different suspension system, more travel in the front. I think about 10 mm extra in the front, much longer wheelbase and 19-inch wheels. Overall, the ergonomics of this bike has been completely changed. The off-road mode feels really better in my opinion. This is so much fun, I believe. So what the off-road mode really does is that it switches off the ABS of the rear wheels and switches off the traction control as well. That's a very good thing, which we miss on the 390 Adventure. You know, the times when I've rode that bike, I always wish that I could turn off that freaking traction control. I'm just trying to get used to the brakes and the bike and all that stuff. It's a pretty tall bike for me because I can't completely plant foot this bike. I can only plant half of my foot, but I don't really find any issues with it. Whoa. It actually feels good to trail ride this thing. Not bad. I mean, it lives to its expectations, but anyways, I like this bike. It's a pretty comfortable bike to ride for a very long time, and you can munch kilometers on this just like how you do it on Speed 400. But I really love the ergonomics on this one. But people say that the Speed 400 is much more confident, but I don't really know, man. I think it's me. I think it's a me thing. But I really love the wider handlebar and you know, the raised handlebar, like a adventure tourer. You guys might have watched the review that I've made for the Speed 400. Most of the things that I've told in that vlog applies to this bike. It's the same thing. And one more thing about this bike is that the brakes are less sharper than the Speed 400, and the reason why they've done it that way is because this has got a 19-inch wheels, and for an off-road or an enduro bike, they say that, you know, a sharper brake would be not so convenient. I don't really know about that. But and a new addition is the handle guard. I mean, it's pretty okay. It's not metal or anything, it's just a plastic, so I believe it's strong enough to hold decent crashes. And I think this has got a smaller section tire in the back, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, the switches are also similar to the Speed 400. It's just the same thing, there's no difference. The levers, and also this has got a very distinctive exhaust note as well. It's definitely different than the Speed 400. This has got, I feel like this is much more bassier and much more louder than the Speed 400. That's what I feel like. So yeah, this is just a first ride review, or like, not a review, it's like a first ride impression, I would say. I mean, I really like the bike. There's not really much to talk about this bike, to be honest, because I really talked like in detail about the Speed 400 now that I have to repeat all of that. Just know that this bike has no big changes compared to that bike, except for the ergonomics and the tires and the suspension. But apart from that, there's no change. The weight distribution on this bike is also kind of beautifully done. Then you don't feel the weight, even though I can't completely plant foot on this bike. I can only plant half of my foot. If you're someone below 5'5", then I really suggest you guys should test ride this bike and then buy it. 40 PS of power, 37.5 Newton meter of torque, and you know, similar power figures as the Speed 400. I think I've said Speed 400 more in the video than this Scrambler 400X. If you guys have watched my Speed 400 video, in the last I mentioned that, you know, Triumph is opening up a lot more showrooms in India, and I suppose a lot more showrooms are available in your city right now. After that, in Trivandrum, where I temporarily live right now, has gotten 2 more Triumph showrooms after the Speed 400 ride, so they are keeping up to their word. So all those showrooms will have the small to mid capacity bikes as well, and the big bikes. So you get all of them over there, and the service is also done at the same place. The thing about Maharashtra is that, again, it's really beautiful, but only at specific times. At this time it's very hot. In the evenings and during the mornings, I think it's the best. Morning is just crazy. Oh my god, don't get me started. Who should really get this bike? This bike is meant for someone who wants to have a bit of fun off-road, not like really hardcore off-road, because these got alloy. Alloys are the one thing that really doesn't satisfy me, because being a Scrambler, it should really get the spoke wheels, the old school spoke wheels, and that's how it's supposed to be. But it's okay, cost cutting over there, and they say this alloy can take a lot of beating, which we'll have to find it out. If there's anything that you guys need to know about this bike, please comment down below. I will help you guys out.